D, an orderly set of steps which eliminate bias and enable testing. Question number 2. Which of the following is most likely to be a market value transaction? And the most correct answer is D. After many years of running his business, Bob decides to sell the real estate and retire.
Yeah, why is it not C?
Because it says the last one, so it's in the new.
What do y'all think it is?
C.
C? Let's think about that. Last pad site is sold in a very desirable commercial area. What's the chance of him paying a market value for that?
Oh,
It's the last one.
They're gonna jack that price up, I think.
because it's,
I think they would. I mean, in my part of the world, they would have, if the last lot available, you know, we're gonna get all we can, probably. Greed, it's probably a greed factor, okay? But you know what happens? It happens every day somewhere, doesn't it? That's why I don't like some of these questions, okay?
What if that's your marketplace?
3, land value may be estimated using the market or income approach. So you can't do cost, you can't do cost. And market only kind of eliminates income, doesn't it? Question number 4. Bob bought a house on a lot for $120. He spends $12 grand to paint the house, make other repairs, and sells the property for $150. What economic principle explains the difference between the cost of repairs and the increase in sales price? It's contribution. A. Number 5, which of the following best explains the bundle of rights? Most correct answer is B. Remember, it's a total ownership of property consists of only a number of distinct. Remember, always there's separable rights. You can have the right to lease it, right to occupy it, but not own it. You know what I'm saying? So they're separable. Number 6. A value schedule will reflect the value of a structure would have been if it were what? 100% good. Number 7. The chief appraiser must, under law, use the income approach when appraising what? Properties that qualify for special use evaluation. You're probably going to see something like that, okay? How about your cost approach debate? How'd y'all do on this? Everybody feel pretty good about it? It's a matter of just taking real careful attention to calculating out the components of the property. It shows you the joining of the house. It shows you the cost components. It does remind us to add 21% for indirect cost. All components of the property A are average quality except the roof, which is good quality and covers 1,550 square foot. It'll always generally give you a roof square footage, because why? It's going to be different than the floor plan. It's going to be sloped. There's more square footage, so it'll generally give you a roof square footage. So don't use the living area to calculate the roof. The roof's not flat. Just think about your house. Yep. My daughter's son-in-law's roof is flat. Let's do this still, okay? I haven't showed you a picture of the house, have I? I've got to show you a picture of the house before we leave, but it's really unique. Hang on. Leave it for it. Let me find it right quick. Let's go. It's a really unique piece of property. It's kind of out there. He's an architect, by the way. Let's find, here you go, Breezy House. Well, that's behind my house.
Oh,
People either love it or hate it. It's modern. You've got the master bedroom, 2 bedrooms, you got office, kitchen, you got entry hall, and you got, on the back is an L shape, and you got a huge room, it's like 20 by 30 with a 20-foot ceiling, called the great room. The stairs go upstairs. It's kind of neat in a way. It's not everybody's cup of tea, okay? It's kind of like a sore thumb in Wise County. There's actually about 3 or 4 of these similar houses. Now, one of it's really more elaborate than this. Has a pool that you swim in the house pool.
wow.
I mean, really gorgeous. It's got lots of glass on the backside. And they have, this is pergola. It has no aesthetic purposes other than it just looks good. If it snows, rain, or hails, your car still gets wet. I think put some sheet iron on it or something, man. Do that to it. Let's see what we got here. I think I got another, maybe not. They don't have, I got all 3 of the kids live pretty close. If you give them land, they'll build close to you, okay? And it's kind of the deal that, it's a good thing, I guess.
Hey, I have a question
Here we go.
about this one.
All components are average quality except the roof. It is good quality. Equivalent square footage is 1,220 square foot plus 220. Remember your drawing up here? You cut it into boxes, didn't you?
Yep.
You got one rectangular box and one kind of smaller rectangular box. Just do your dotted lines or break it into however you can do it. You can do several ways you can do this, but you probably just do two boxes in this case. Use a 1,000 square foot box and a 220 square foot box. And your cost will be foundation, 1,220 square foot times 560. Flooring, 1,220 square foot times 523. Walls, 176 linear feet, that's measured around the walls, times 1,376. The roof is 1,550 times 903. Windows, 8 times 35. 50 window, 1 times 75. Exterior doors, 2 times 60. Interior doors, 10 times 40. Sliding glass door, 1 times 120. Your total direct cost would be $30,625.86. We want to build some of these houses, don't we? And then the indirect costs are $64,31.43. So your total RCN should be something like $37,057.29. I think it gave you multiple questions, didn't it? Yes, yeah. Everybody okay on that one?
I had a question.
Yes.
It did not specifically say foundation and flooring.
Okay, listen to me.
All right, I know you would build a
Don't
house.
read something into it, it's not there, okay? That's your greatest strength and your greatest weakness both at the same time, okay? And on a test question, it'd be your greatest weakness if you read too much into it, okay?
Well, that's what I felt like I was doing. It's like it made logical sense to put a foundation in a floor, but it didn't say it.
Just don't read too much into it, okay?
Okay.
Y'all don't listen to him when he talks, okay? Just close your ears out. My 101 class was in Austin. There's 120 in a room. It's Monday through Thursday. We're having a review Friday morning for the test. I am ready to, actually, we went to 6th Street on Thursday night. I was a designated driver. We get home about 11, they're ready to study. I said, no, I'm better off sleeping another hour than study at this point in time. We get to class, I feel pretty good. Some lady on the front starts asking questions in review. I do like this. Let me know when she's finished talking. That was pretty clear. So she started talking and talking. And it'd be like, if the question says the sky is blue, does it mean royal blue, sky blue, light blue, or just blue? That was kind of something like, it's blue, lady, it's blue, you know, just get on what's going. But she was just kind of, just like, so just sometimes block things out that comes into your head and say, okay, back on track, folks. Okay, what is the direct cost of foundation? $68.32. Did you get the right answer?
Me?
Yeah,
No, I did not.
okay.
But I will next time when I
Here's the
work.
components. Foundation is $68.32 is A. What is the direct cost of the walls? Is D. These are the kind of questions you'll have on your exam. You have multiple questions about that calculation problem. Number 10, what is the total direct cost of the improvement? Is A. What is the total indirect cost of the improvement? That is B. And a question like this will keep you from forgetting the indirect cost. And what is the total RCN of improvement? Is A, $37,057.29. Question number 13,
I feel okay.
depreciation refers to C,
I'm
an improvement's loss in value from all causes. Number 14, you must always adjust or consider adjusting the value schedule to reflect the subject property's what? Depreciation. The actual age, we talk about the effective age, wouldn't we? Appreciation, that's a whole different thing. Sales price, that's called sales chasing, isn't it? You should never do that. You should never throw out the good ones and bad ones, you just keep the ones that are close either. Most of private districts base value schedules for residential properties on a combination of what? Cost and market. Number 16, when the most probable use of a property is single-family residential, the use is called what? Consumptive. In other words, it's a consumer. They're going to consume the property. Now, your favorite problem of the morning, you're appraising a 7-year-old office building, the estimated replacement cost new is $43,800. We know it has some curable physical items. Painting the interior is $800, estimated cost to cure. Repairing the ceiling tile, $1,200, estimated cost to cure, so it's the same. Replacing the slab of concrete at the entrance is $125, estimated cost to cure. So what's our curable physical short-lived gonna be? We're gonna add those, what, 3 things together, aren't we? Under our incurable physical short-lived, we have some items that are not quite worn out yet. The floor covering, and the plumbing, the heating, the roof cover, electrical, all this stuff is 5 years old, and it all has different varying economic lives. You estimate the effective age to be 6 years after curing of the items deferred maintenance. You also estimate the total economic life of the structure to be 60 years. Here's your problem. Estimate the total amount of incurable physical deterioration, the physical incurable long-lived, total physical incurable, and the breakdown monthly problem solution. So we know that, this is kind of scrambled, I apologize about that. In PDF, I fixed it. Physical incurable short-lived items, we said was the 800, the 1200, and the 125. Add these 3 together, you should get 2125. Now, everybody should have got that answer, right? That's one out of this problem, it just should be a give me, okay? The second part is the incurable portion, and it should be almost a free space, because you're just gonna take divide these numbers here, multiply times the cost, so you should have 28 for the physical incurable long-lived. Everybody good there? Now that it's a little more complicated, but yet it's very doable, isn't it? We're gonna take the effective age, by the 6 years, we got 10% depreciation. Our RCN, we got 275 out of the RCN. Let's go back and read this thing. You started out with what? 43.8? What have we done here? How here we go? Long lived is 3128. Everybody get that number? Huh?
Yes.
How many got the, this is all jumbled up, isn't it?
The answers are down, the questions are below.
Look at my, I gotta go on my sheet here. I think it's better looking on my sheet than it is on that. Here it is, okay. Physical incurable long lived was 3128. So economic life is 10% depreciation. Look at the RCN of 31,275. We subtracted the 2 RCN numbers from that. So physical incurable short lived was 2678. Physical incurable long lived was 3128. Did the physical incurable long lived, you get 5806? Hang on. I glanced at this last night, but I didn't glance real long, just make
The
sure.
questions are fixing to come up.
Hang on. Hold the bus. We'll get there, okay? Yeah, we're there. We're cool. We're gonna take the cost number, what we have originally, 43A. And you're gonna back out what? 43.8 minus what? 43,800,
2125 and 10,400.
huh?
2125 and 10,400.
Then we're gonna back out how much? We're gonna back out the, short-lived items, how much? 2125. Then we're gonna back out the other, what, 31,
10,400.
huh?
10,400. Replacement cost new of the incurable, 10,400.
10.4, yes, we back out 10.4. That should be. One more time. 43.8, let's write this down, we won't get it.
31,275 is what it gives you.
43.8, we had 43.8 RCM, remember that? Then we're gonna back out the what, 125 minus 2125 equals, then minus the 10.4 equals 31,275 times what? 10% equals 3128 is the long-lived, okay? Everybody get that? Let's roll down now. See, I cleaned this stuff up, this is in a PowerPoint, I can't clean it. 3128 is our long-lived. So our questions are gonna be, what is the total amount of current physical deterioration? That's gonna be what? A, right? 2125. What is the total amount of incurable short-lived depreciation? Is gonna be what? C, 2678. What is the total amount of incurable long-lived? Is gonna be what? A, 3128. Number 4, what is the total amount of physical incurable depreciation? Is gonna be what? B, 5806. How did we get that number? We added our two incurables together, okay? That could be a question you see. What is the amount of the total incurable? That's two portions, not the whole. Then number 5 is, what is the percentage of physical incurable long-lived depreciation suffered by the building? That's A, 10%, isn't it? How y'all feel about this problem? Most of you got it? We worked several, hoping that we get the cobwebs out. Now, I think going into, look at your first question on the next section. I think you're missing something, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. You're missing A.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably a pretty good choice. Let's look at it right quick. Cash equivalency analysis requires adjusting the sales price of a comparable when A, the seller pays portion on the buyer's new loan to provide the buyer with a below market interest rate. Everybody got that? I'm gonna go back and peek at your 102 right quick before we move forward, okay? Let's go back and see if there's anything here that jumps off the page at us. We talk about appraisal value, we talk about property as a broad term, between the people's, person's ownership of their possessions. We'd already covered slugger. We covered the eminent domain. I'll kind of refer back to as private restrictions, often referred to as encumbrances. That could be liens and judgments, or covenants and restrictions, easements and right-of-ways, could be a mineral lease, could be a riparian right. Those are all bundled under what we call a restriction, okay? Or a covenant. We talked about fee simple already. We talked about value in exchange. That's when you, benefits will accrue when you swap something for the other property. Cost is amount of money, time, labor spent to acquire it. Price is the cost of the property is purchased. We already covered market value numerous times. We already covered substitution, contribution. We've covered highest and best use. Physically possible, legally permissible, financially feasible, most productive. Homestead must be priced as a homestead. Logical and believable conclusion. Generally accepted practices, we consider use type to be generally accepted practices. Here's some methods to gather data, research publications, questionnaires, site inspections. The final step in appraisal is exercise judgment to select a final conclusion. That's part of the reconciliation and final estimate. appraisal report is a document that, is the final step. It tells the number we got, the reasons we got those numbers. Let's do this a little bit, make sure I'm not missing something here. Remember, some of these data right quick, just a little bit here. Remember under general data, we saw about that was forces that might affect value, local trends and forces. So the trend is usually defined as a general movement or current style. Remember we've seen trends in our lifetime that came and thank God they left, you know what I'm saying? So that could possibly be a. We're talking about the physical forces on the physical condition or the economic forces. We talk about the governmental actions or social forces within the community. This international force keeps popping up, and one of the reasons that the question asks is stability of currencies and international force. It's basically how much the dollar is trading against foreign currencies. That's showed up somewhere in some base. And national forces could be housing regulations, regional forces gain or lost employment, and local forces could be just general economic economy locally. We already talked about a neighborhood. Neighborhood boundaries, we talked about that. Somewhere we talked about, remember the cycles of a neighborhood? It's new, it declines, it can be rebirth, so to speak. Or you have new, stability, decline, and revitalize. We did this yet, I think, too, I guess. Cost approach, we talked about that. Cost approach is very good at like any type of property. First sight, definitely cost approach is the land value, make it highest best use. The cost schedule will go. Requires active market for a market approach. Again, I remind, this is not, income approach, future income, earned triangle, calculate operating expenses, allocation, we talked about allocation with some problems like that. I think we've covered most of this stuff yesterday. We actually looked through this yesterday, we kind of figured that out a little slow. Legal descriptions, meets and bounds, says it describes the property by its boundaries and its measurements. Recording plats, also called lot and block. Parcel map is also called a cadastral map. Y'all could look at a map, pick a lot out of it, because it'll tell you lot and block. Those are pretty straightforward questions. Y'all pretty good on the squares and shapes, I think we've run through that. You probably, if you have a drawing of a house, it's probably gonna have a half circle porch. What are you gonna do? You're gonna, if it's got the diameter, you're gonna find the radius. Then you're gonna find the diameter, and in the area of the circle, then you want to do what?
Divide it in half.
Divide by 2, okay? Building to property ratio, that's total parts, isn't it, okay? Land to property ratio is total parts. Remember, if it's land to building ratio, you're gonna add the parts together. Talk about time adjustments, we kind of went over that. And I think we probably landed this thing yesterday, didn't we? Okay. Move on to your section 103, please. And we'll kind of cover those questions, or 203, excuse me. Work on those questions a little bit before we go.
Can you leave
Can
up
you put that
that
back up so I can,
little
Yeah,
answer?
it's not, you're trying to-
sorry.